Okay, so today we're going to be talking about scientific notation, specifically how to solve numbers that are in scientific notation. So scientific notation basically looks like this, okay? It's a way of expressing really large numbers, and it's something your calculator will do when you have too big of a number, okay? So if I were to, for example, I'm sure you guys have all done this, right? Just times the same number like over and over again, times 9. If I keep multiplying by 9, eventually the number will get big enough that it's not going to fit on the calculator, right? So as I keep right here at this point, notice it turns into a decimal. How does a really big number turn into a decimal? This is scientific notation, okay? If you take this big long decimal and times it by 10 to the 10th power, that E is the same thing as times 10 to that 10th power, okay? So if I take that decimal and just, instead of thinking of that E, you can think of that as times 10 to the 10th power. That's basically just the number of zeros that would go at the end after that 1. Actually, you'd move the decimal 10 spots. So, sorry, you'd move the decimal. And you'll get more into that tomorrow. But basically, the idea here is that this is just your calculator's form of saying times 10 to some power. Okay? So when I have some numbers here in scientific notation, and I want to solve this, so I've got this 1.98 times 10 to the negative 4, all I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it into my calculator just like you see it. Your calculator is going to be able to interpret it just like you see it. So if I plug in 0.00023 in parentheses, just like it has it there, and minus, and then in parentheses, 1.98 times, oh, I didn't use parentheses, 1.98 times 10 to the negative 4 power, and then parentheses. Okay, so I just typed it in just like I saw it, and you push enter, and it gives you your answer. This is a small enough number that doesn't need to be in scientific notation. So I'm just going to write that as my answer. My answer is 0.000032. Okay, and you can put the 0 in front if you want to, but that's all we're looking for today. We're just plugging into things into the calculator and writing down our answers. Okay, let's look at another example. Let's look at one that might not fit in scientific notation. So all of these seem to be okay. Let's try this one. 4, so parentheses, 4.06 times 10 to the negative 4, and then parentheses, exponent. Oh, that was a negative 5. Sorry. Negative 5, and then it's negative 4. Okay. Just like I see it right there, right? 4.06 times 10 to the negative 5th, and then to the negative 4 power. Push enter, and I get something in scientific notation, right? So to write this down, the correct answer would be 3 point, and I've got to write everything on my calculator. Okay, so I'm going to write everything on my calculator. 3.680400715. And then instead of writing E17, we're going to write times 10 to the 17th power. That's what E17 means. It means times 10 to the 17th power. And all that does is it moves this decimal 17 spots to the right. Again, we'll go over that more tomorrow, but that would be my answer right there. Okay, let's try another one. Let's look at this one right here. It's a dividing problem, right? So I would do, in my calculator, 0.007 divided by, and there's two ways I can do this. The first way is use the division symbol and then use a parenthesis. Okay? 2.9 times 10 to the 6. But you have to use a parenthesis, otherwise it's just going to divide the first number, and you want it to divide all of it. Okay? Which would give you that number right there. So 0.000000002. Okay? So you can do it that way, or you can use the fraction button. Okay? So if I do 0.007 fraction 2.9 times 10 to the 6, I don't have to use the parenthesis, because it recognizes that it's being divided by both when I do it that way. And you'll notice I get the same answer. Okay? So whichever way is easier for you to do, you can use the parenthesis and the division symbol, or you can use the fraction button. Either way, same thing. Okay, let's look at another example. Let's do one that's multiplying. So let's do this one right here. So 8.2. So clear. Oh, come on, clear. So parentheses 8.2, oops, times 10 to the second, parentheses, and then parentheses. Again, we're just putting in our calculator just like we see it, 80 parentheses. And we get 65,600. And that's it. That's all we got to do. That's my answer. That is all we're doing today. It's not too tough, right? So, I think that's pretty much all I need to go over. Let's do one more. Let's do an addition one here. So let's do this last one. I've done all the other ones. So, so in parentheses, 9.22 times 10 to the negative 4. Oops. You got to make sure you push over if you're using the school calculators. And then plus, sorry, I'm trying to get to where you can see what I'm doing and the problem. Okay, there we go. 4.77 times 10 to the negative 4. And then you push over in parentheses. Okay, so put it in there just like I saw it. Push enter, and that's my answer. 0.001399. And that is it. That's all I'm doing. If you have any questions or concerns, ask your teacher. We're here to help. We want to help, and we'll see you out there.